government agencies to ensure that the available product is distributed without any glitch.
Defaulters should be sanctioned, stations should be sealed up. They should ensure that prices are restored to official rates as it is now in Abuja, that is currently going for 180 naira, crashing from the high heavens. The situation no doubt is not peculiar to Rivers State as Abia, Imo, Delta, Edo, Cross River, Akwa Ibom and the rest are having their fair share, but we can distinguish ourselves. The Rivers State government should immediately interface and converge a stakeholders meeting if the federal government agencies have failed.
Wache also urged the Rivers State government to join hands with private companies to have more depots in the state.
This can serve as an opportunity to the Rivers State government to set up and establish reserves across the state, as well as depots, either publicly and privately owned, to have containment of future occurrences, because the recurrence of this situation has a capacity to compromise the security architecture of Rivers State. The economic and revenue status of the state can be compromised and brought to a halt, but more can be done if the needed attention is given.
On this part, human rights activist Charles Jarjam tells correspondent Emeka Otuka that filling station owners are hiding under the pretense of scarcity to exploit the public. He said it's unjustifiable that the other states will have petrol and Rivers State will be experiencing a scarcity.
There is no justifiable reason why filling stations in Rivers State should hike the prices of fuel to the tune of 450 naira per litre of PMS. I challenge them to make open to the public how much they are taking deliveries of this product from their suppliers at various tank farms. I think government should not allow them to continue in causing wanton hardship on the land and behaving in a manner as if there is no government in the land. Relevant agencies of government must close in on them to stop them from carrying out this act that is sabotaging the efforts of government. I have said it oftentimes that except Nigerians are true to themselves and become patriotic, that nothing will change in this nation.
Also, Port Harcourt-based lawyer Gift Major urged the federal government to address Nigerians on the fuel situation across the country.
We know the impact of the hike in prices of petroleum products on all the services, including the prices of food, and schools are about to resume next week. It's unbelievable that we have a government and Nigeria, which is one of the leading producers of crude oil, will be going through this. I must say that it's a big failure on the part of the government. We have a president who is a minister of petroleum. He's not talking to the citizens. It's really appalling that Nigerians have to go through this.
Our Gift Major told our correspondent he bought petrol at 450 naira per litre.
I mean, if someone had told me I will be buying a litre of petrol for 450 naira at this time, when we are told that the government is spending billions upon billions on subsidy, and it's not a situation where you drive into the filling station and you buy, the queue, the crowd, you have to navigate your way, patiently wait to even get to your turn. But here we are in an election year and the government is behaving as if the citizens do not matter.
Recall that Group Managing Director NNPC Mele Kiari had said there is no petrol scarcity at the depots. He said the current scarcity of petrol in some parts of the country is due to the price difference in some states, which has affected the distribution of the product. Meanwhile, National Officer of the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers NUPENG, Alex Egwanwo, says the union has suspended its strike following the intervention of stakeholders. Recall that NUPENG had directed its members to suspend the lifting and supply of petrol to 3 states, including Rivers. But Egwanwo, in an interview with our correspondent, Soibu Ruwari, said if the outcome of the meeting is not favourable, they may be forced to continue their strike.
They have suspended the strike. After much consultation, we have to suspend the strike pending discussions with the stakeholders. We have started work this morning because we found out people are taking advantage of the announcement also by increasing their pump price. For us, we don't want Nigerians to suffer. So we said that we should suspend the strike since the authorities, the government are willing to engage us on the issues. So while we discuss the issues and resolve it, we'll resolve it. If we don't resolve, I will have no choice. We may leave the suspension.
The cost of petrol in Port Harcourt has moved to about 400 naira and above per litre in some crowded filling stations, while at the black market it sold for as much as 700 to 800 naira per litre. In the meantime, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA) has sealed 13 filling stations in the Akwa Ibom State for dispensing petrol above the approved pump price. The team lead distribution system storage and retailing infrastructure, Joy Kuro, told newsmen today that the filling stations that violated the government seal order would be sanctioned. And away from that, the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, says he's standing as guarantor for the PDP governorship candidate, Siminalayi Fubara, and his deputy in the 11th March 2023 election. The governor said this during the flag-off of the Cargo Ogboloba Dada Road construction in Obua Odua local government area.
I come here with the man who will take over from me, so I make him know where I stop, and then we'll continue from there. So the man who will take over from me and his deputy, they will sign an agreement with the people of Odua. Not so, as they come, not them complete the one where me I go stop. Not so, because May 29 me I don't go. Why he good? Not gonna vote for him because not gonna no go bring people who will come scatter everything where we don't start. Now consolidation, what would they do? I dey hand them over to her. Now me they short here because me now talking I do not be so. Now me they take shorty for governorship and deputy. More gonna vote for PDP.
Governor Wike also tackled the contractor handling the project for not mobilizing workers to one of the project sites.
Why have they not mobilized to Abua? They have collected the money. Commissioner of Works, I give you 24 hours. If you don't move to site, you return our money immediately. It's not only the company, even those who are supervising the job are part of the problems we have. This company has collected the money more than 2 months ago, and you are telling us that they are preparing. After they send money from us, let them not move to start till tomorrow. I will sack you as a commissioner of works.
The former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honourable Prince Chibudom Inuche, has called for unity among PDP members in Ekpeye land comprising Ahoda West and Ahoda East local government areas in Rivers State. He said this after he received the leadership of the PDP from his hometown, Achigba, who paid him a courtesy visit. Honourable Chibudom commended Governor Wike for citing many developmental projects in the state, including construction of Obodi Ozochi Road, West Bridge, Ogbo Ihu Gogo and Odiemudie roads, among others, and representing the interests of Ekpeye people. He further commended the governor for not leaving behind the healthcare and educational projects in Ekpeye land.
In the healthcare sector, educational sector, including the campus of Rivers State University in Ahoda, he has indeed kept every promise he made to our people, including increasing the first-class schools to 7 in Ekpeye land, whereas we only had one for many years, in spite of our appeals to the government to elevate deserving schools.
Now, speaking on behalf of the group, leader of the PDP in Achigba, Architect Chris Edwood, thanked Honourable Nwuche for his support to the party and for standing firm with Governor Wike to ensure the victory of PDP in the coming elections. He also assured Honourable Nwuche of the support of the party in the village to ensure the victory of the PDP in all the 7 polling units in the community. And moving on, as the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, begins the distribution of PVCs at registration areas and awards today, residents of Obiakpo local government area have commended INEC for making the collection of PVCs easy. Our correspondent was at Ward 15 UPE Collection Centre, Choba, and reports seen a large crowd there. Some of the people told our correspondent the process is smooth.
The INEC staff, they were very early, and they are doing very well. They are well behaved too, attending to us very well.
See, there was a much crowd there before, and there are just few people left behind. Others have collected their own.
And the process is fair and nice. Everything is going well. There's no hinge or anything.
There's no issue. As far as can bring any identification that this card belongs to you, they will hand it over to you.
Recorded INEC in Rivers State said the collection of PVCs will be transferred to the registration areas and wards from today till Sunday, 15th January. In the meantime, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu says the Commission is set for the 25th February presidential election and the 11th March governorship election. INEC Chairman said this today when he visited the national headquarters of the National Youth Service Corps to seek the collaboration of the NYC in the conduct of the elections. Professor Yakubu also said Nigeria cannot conduct any successful election without the active participation of core members as ad hoc staff. Well, still ahead in the news, President Buhari signs mental health bill into law. Do please stay tuned. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the harmonized mental health bill into law. The bill, which was harmonized by the Senate and House of Reps in 2021, will replace the Lunacy Act of 1958. President of the Association of Psychiatrists of Nigeria, Professor Taiwo Obindo, described the signing as a great relief to the mental health care and practice in the country, as some of the provisions of the National Mental Health Bill include the establishment of a Department of Mental Health Services and the Federal Ministry of Health and the Mental Health Fund. Also, the Nigeria Bar Association has suspended its former General Secretary, Nimi Wilson-Jack, as a member of the NBA National Executive Council. The body also stripped him of all privileges accruing to him as a past General Secretary. The NBA said it followed its resolutions at the NBA NEC meeting on 15th December 2022 in Abuja, after Mr. Wilson-Jack acted as a solicitor to the promoters of a parallel association, Law Society of Nigeria.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
The United Nations says flexible working arrangements like those introduced during the COVID-19 pandemic are good for employees and also boost productivity for businesses. In its first report focusing on work-life balances, the UN's International Labour Organization evaluated the effect of working time, working hours, and working time arrangements on the well-being of staff and also on business performance. It found that the larger proportion of workers on reduced hours helped to prevent job losses. And that's it. On the news this evening, you heard stakeholders have urged the Rivers State government to tackle the petrol situation in the state. Governor Nyesom Wike says he's standing as a guarantor for PDP governorship candidate Sim Fubara. INEC has begun PVC distribution in wards. On the foreign scene, the UN says flexible working hours are good for business. And that was the news is edited by Constance Mega. Clear weather expected in Port Harcourt this evening. And remember, collect your PVCs. Vote. Your vote is your voice. Thanks for listening. I'm Ade Dayo, Ilushakin. Good evening.